This is the story of Kobe, a 16-year-old boy from a small town in African country. Kobe loved running, not because he had big trophies to win, not because there was a crowd to cheer, but because when he ran barefoot on the dusty roads of his village, he felt alive. He felt free. But freedom didn't come easy in his life. Kobe's father was a cycle rickshaw puller, earning barely enough to feed the family. Many nights, the family slept with half-empty stomachs. In such a home, running shoes or sports gear were dreams too expensive to even think of. Still, Kobe never stopped. Every morning before the sun rose, when the world was still asleep, he would tie torn pieces of cloth around his feet and run miles across the fields. People laughed at him. "Kobe, with broken shoes, how will you run a race? You don't have shoes. How will you win Olympics?" But Kobe never replied. He just smiled and ran harder. Because deep inside he believed one day his legs would take him where money couldn't. One day his school announced a district-level race competition. The winner would get a scholarship for further studies. For Kobe, this was not just a race, this was a chance to change his life. But there was a condition. Shoes were mandatory. When Kobe heard this, his heart sank. He didn't even have slippers without holes. How could he manage proper shoes? That night he sat alone, staring at his torn feet, and cried quietly. His father, tired after a whole day of pulling the rickshaw, noticed him. "What happened, son?" he asked. Kobe hesitated, then told him everything. His father went silent. He had no money to offer, no promise to make, only a heavy heart that wished life was kinder to his son. The next morning, when Kobe woke up, he saw an old, worn-out pair of running shoes on the bed. They were not new. They were not shiny. In fact, they were 2 sizes bigger. But for Kobe, they were priceless. His father had borrowed them from a kind friend in town, just so his son could run. On the day of the race, Kobe stood at the starting line. His heart was pounding. He looked around. Other boys wore brand new sports shoes, bright jerseys, and looked confident. He looked down at his borrowed shoes, loose and faded. But then he remembered his father's tired face, his mother's sacrifices, his own endless runs on the dusty roads. He clenched his fists and whispered to himself, "This is my chance. I cannot fail." The whistle blew. Kobe started running. At first he was behind. The other boys were faster, their steps lighter, but Kobe ran with something they didn't have. He ran with hunger, with pain, with the weight of his family's struggles and the fire of his own dreams. Every step reminded him of those mornings when he ran barefoot. Every drop of sweat reminded him of his father's tears. And with each breath, he pushed harder, faster, stronger. As he reached the final stretch, something magical happened. Kobe overtook one runner, then another and another. The crowd, which had ignored him at the start, now began to cheer loudly, and finally, with one last burst of energy, Kobe crossed the finish line first. The ground erupted in applause. His teacher hugged him. The scholarship was his. But for Kobe, the real victory was seeing his father smile through tears in the audience. That day, Kobe didn't just win a race, he won dignity for his family, respect for his father, and most importantly, the belief in himself. So remember this, life will always show you what you don't have. No money, no resources, no opportunities, but greatness is not about what you lack. It's about what you do with whatever little you have. All you need is courage in your heart and determination in your steps.